All right.
Vincent.
Welcome.
Hey, good to see you.
It's the month of March.
Yes, it is.
And,
yes, it is.
People marches on.
Yes,
to
yes,
different places.
yes, they do. They are marching all over the world, marching themselves, in many cases, to the airport.
All right.
And flying away.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do we got?
The NPC meetings.
The NPC meetings, that's a big one, of course. Our fearless leaders are off to Beijing to confer with their national counterparts. And mostly they're going to say, could you please stop selling so many of your badly behaved compatriots to our city? As much as I can figure, that's the main reason they're going. Which, you know, really, I just can't even imagine. But that sounds like that's the mission.
But you know what? I'm not sure. It's a national policy to gradually open up, right? So now you want to reverse the tide.
Yeah.
And once you reverse it, is never turning back. Almost never turning back.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, they're going to go up there and ask for these multiple entry visas to be turned into like several visit visas.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. But I'm going to argue that.
Yeah.
As you are from the Lions Rock Institute.
Okay.
How to define how many times is the best for a market?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a freedom of movement guy. You know, I'm all about the freedom.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yeah, let them
go. They say is every permit should allow let's say a number of times.
Yeah.
But the number of times, let's say, is X equals what?
Right.
Depending on which season, the economy, which month.
Ah, right.
And the domestic situation.
Yeah.
So the domestic economic situation.
Right.
So it's very difficult to determine what X is best for Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are pushing it too hard, then right now the retail market could just suddenly drop.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I mean,
and then what should you do? And then you go back to China and ask for more visits?
Yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, that's probably what's going to end up happening, right? And they think
and if you are not pushing hard enough, would you dare to go to China again and then we want you to push harder?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like this. I mean,
I agree. I agree.
It's a market mechanism.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally down with that. You know, Hong Kong had its greatest days
especially
when there was no border control. Like when
know.
anybody could come to Hong Kong anytime they wanted. Because that was a long time ago. But yeah, okay, well, there's two different ways to think about this in. There's the idea that the market, as in the composite of all the little decisions that people make every day in their lives, should be allowed to reign. That everybody should be able to come and go as they want, and that's one way to do it, and I'd be all for that. Another way might be to think, if you think of Hong Kong as a business, which I think a lot of people do at the top levels of the people running this place, auction off visas to Hong Kong. Right? When you talk about, like, sometimes you might want more people, sometimes you want fewer people, higher spending people, lower spending people. You could auction them off. Today, a visa costs this much. You know, and if you're a businessman looking at it, you're like, well, yeah, I guess I got it. You know, it's worth it for me to come down and do it. If you're a tourist, you're like, well, you know, if I'm going to cross the border and buy some toothpaste, maybe it's not worth it. But if I'm going to go and, you know, spend a couple $100,000 on Disneyland and shopping, whatever, yeah, you know, $1,500 for a visa, why not? So that would be a different kind of market solution. So different ways. But I have to admit, in my heart, freedom of movement. And I've written on this. I was attacked for it. I've defended my position on this. And would love to see things be more open.
All right. Besides the NPC meetings.
So beside the NPC meetings, so we've got guys flying off to Beijing. We've got a number of our legislators are flying off to Germany. And so they're going to be having meetings there. Emily Lau is leading a legislator delegation. Her deputy is Tommy Chung. After all their Valentine days back and forths, I'm surprised to see that they're taking a little trip to Germany together. I hope, you know, there aren't spouses getting upset about this somewhere. You know, but they're not going to. They will have chaperones, so it's quite okay. Lee Chuk-yan, Chan Ha-kan, the always fashionable Paul Jie, the always sensible Kenneth Leung, Dennis Kwok, Mr. Education Kip Yun, and Tang Kai-pui are all on their way to Germany. And
any specific purposes?
You know, meet people, look at how they run things. There's no, like, they're going to Germany to
understand the politics and the election mechanism.
Yeah, they have these legislative exchanges.
Yeah, so there's
you know, that they do. And sometimes, you know, something comes out of them and sometimes it doesn't. But I think this is just to go meet and greet. But it's interesting that, you know, because Germany's interesting because they've been putting their neck out on China-related issues lately. Their ambassador over the weekend was making some noise about, you know, kind of what's going on in China.
The interesting part is that not too long ago, I think it's about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Some pro-establishment legislators, including some senior government officials, did mention they have a mechanism to disciplinary actions.
Okay.
For the representative in Germany. For the people's representative in Germany.
For the people, sorry, the Chinese representative in Germany, the Chinese guy in Germany?
No, the legislators.
Or the legislators, right. Oh, they have a mechanism within the German legislature for disciplining their members. Like in the Bundestag, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think maybe they're going to take some notes on that?
Yeah.
Because Tommy Chung is also chair of the finance committee, and so maybe he'll have
all the filibusters going on and all that. So they did mention that Germany has quite a good system. Right.
Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm on speaking terms with the German Consul General, so maybe I'll ask him about that.
Yes. So they may ask for this internal documents and guidelines on how to do that. So
that could very well be. That could very well be.
All right. What else?
And then
legislators in Hong Kong still marches on.
Yeah, legislators march right over to the police station for the next round of theater arrest.
Yeah.
So it's got.
It's stage arrest.
Yeah, it's theater.
Yeah.
It's theater.
Yeah.
That is the word for it. Press conference, go into the police station, they sit them down, show them a bunch of videos, and then say, you can go. But we reserve the right.
Oh yeah.
They have this Damocles sword hanging over their head, but I don't know how that's different from any other crime. That's like every police show you've ever seen. They drag the suspects in and they give them, and then they let them go, and then they talk about it. So yeah, it's become a bit of a theater now, and we'll see.
Keyword for today: compatriots.
Compatriots, yes, for our compatriots.
Define compatriots.
Compatriots, your brothers in arms, your comrades. Although that word comrade's a little heavily loaded for, with communist
for Hong Kong
ideology,
and the mainland, the word is a bit.
Compatriots.
It's a bit,
As in, we are all Chinese brothers, and don't send us too many.
A bit sensitive to some people.
Don't send us too many of our compatriots.
All right.
Okay.
Keyword for today: compatriots.
Compatriots. All right. Good stuff, Vincent.